all who come to this happy place, welcome to Lilo and Stitches. We're your hosts, Jen
and Chris.
All right, guys, we are at the yacht club at Christmas time. They have the streets decorated. The lobby is beautifully decorated, and we will show you that in just a minute. Tonight, we got a free stay here. We'll explain that at the end of the video. Well, we wanted to do a little intro out here and show you we're here, we're home, yay!
Let's check it out.
Okay, so we just got our room at the yacht club, and we're going to give you a quick little tour. I want to remind everyone, in case I did not say it in the intro, that this room has been a gift from the general manager of the yacht club, because our last experience here was our first time staying in this hotel. We had kind of a couple of issues.
Nothing with the resort. It was an inconsiderate neighbor that unfortunately the resort didn't really do a lot to take care of.
And we will go into that at probably the end of the video, but this room was complimentary, and I just wanted to say thank you very much to the yacht club for giving us a free night in this hotel.
Greg Schwartz, the manager at the yacht club, is the one who was more than gracious to have us back.
And we're going to show you the room now, guys. We also got some complimentary snacks and waters from him, and courtesy of the resort. And so you guys want to see this beautiful room at the yacht club? All right, let's turn it around. All right, I'm shooting wide angle, so if anything looks distorted, that is why. This is when you first enter into the room at the yacht club, and we have a corner room, so we definitely got like a bonus room because it's corner. And these are the complimentary snacks that we got. This is not typical of your hotel stay here, but it's gummy bears, caramel popcorn, honey mustard pretzels, chocolate chip cookies, spicy mix and waters. We have an ice bucket, cups, coffee maker, refrigerator, ample closet space. And to the left, we have the bathroom. And hi, it's just a bathroom. Nothing super fancy about it. And then we rotate, here are the beds. This room is just beautifully lit. It is wonderfully decorated. The theming here obviously is nautical yacht type, which is why it's called the yacht club. See the side windows, because it is a corner room. Can you open those curtains for me, please?
Which one?
Those right there.
There's a courtyard.
Beautiful view.
With the wedding gazebo right there.
Courtyard. Windows are dirty, but don't mind that. The wedding gazebo. And I will pan. You can see the boardwalk and the water view out there. This is a pull-out bed. The room is absolutely gorgeous. And then, of course, we have a balcony. And the kids are out there right now, so I'm going to have them come in, and I will show you outside. All right, let's go out. Now, this is different from the last resort we had, or the last room we had. The last room we had this same view, but it did not have the door like that. It had sliding glass doors.
And to be fair, it's actually further to the right, facing like that boat.
Yeah, we weren't as close to the lighthouse.
Not to mention close to the main pool to the left.
Yeah. So this is the view from our 4th floor balcony. That was the very loud lawn chair. The pool is right there. There is a pirate ship, and the pool here is amazing. It is the biggest resort pool on property. It has a lazy river and
a sand bottom pool.
The bottom of the pool is filled with sand. It is amazing. And this is the transportation to the other resorts close by. You can take a boat back and forth to
Hollywood Studios as well.
The boardwalk, and you could take a boat to Hollywood Studios, which is just behind. It's just behind the boardwalk, right?
Yes.
And in the distance, let's see if we can zoom in.
Over here is a better shot of this.
All right. There's a boat. Hang on, we'll show the boat. I'm fascinated by the boats. There is off in the distance the Skyliner, which is also transportation to Hollywood Studios. It is like a gondola system that's right here. It carries you across the zip line to wherever you want to go. I don't really like it. It scares the heck out of me. but everybody else in my family really, really enjoys it. Do you see the sandy beach area down there?
Yeah.
It's really pretty. All right, so this is a tour of our view. It is absolutely stunning. I have wanted to stay at this resort for a very long time. And so when we stayed here a few months ago, it was like a dream to me. I was like, oh, we get to stay at the yacht club. And then we had a few instances that we will talk about later in the video. And it just kind of like ruined the experience. And I actually swore I would never come back. And I'm actually glad that we are back. All right, guys, we'll see you in a little bit.
And this is the lobby of the yacht club. They're decked out right now for Christmas. Decorations are probably a little muted this year for a lot of the resorts, but it's still beautiful. As you can see, the yacht club, nautical theming. Beautiful tree.
Okay, so we're on the balcony, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why we got this complimentary stay at the yacht club. The last time we stayed here, it was a very short trip, and it was something we planned for. And we have been wanting to stay at the yacht club for years and years because it is a higher level deluxe resort, and I've always wanted to stay here. The pool is phenomenal. It is very cool pool. It has a lazy river. It has a sandy bottom. It is the largest pool on property.
It's such a great pool that it's one of the few pools that Disney limits the ability for like DVC and annual pass holders to be able to pool hop. So you can't just come to this pool. You have to stay here to go to this pool.
And you have to get a wristband and all that. And the last time we were here, now this is a fancy resort. I will say that. It is a higher level resort. The clientele is supposed to be of a higher standard. The restaurants here, some of the restaurants have a dress code. You have to like dress business casual. And when we checked in, I mean, it was okay. The check-in was nothing to remember. The room was the same type of view that we currently have, with a balcony, and
didn't have the corner, didn't have side window.
Yeah, it wasn't a corner room. It wasn't like, this is an extra. This is like an upgrade for the room.
It's like a premium view.
Yeah, and when we checked in, it was just meh. It wasn't anything like it wasn't what I expect from a Disney resort when you check in. We got into the room, and like something about the feel was off of, I had a feeling it wasn't going to be a great trip. Well, when we went to the pool, we actually got fat shamed by a couple of patrons of the pool. And then I got attacked by red ants in the pool.
In the water.
And I got attacked to a point where my arm started to swell up, and I got these really huge blisters that just kept, coming back. And that in itself was bad. But then we came back to the room to lay down in the afternoon because we were all tired. And when we did that, our neighbor was smoking on his balcony.
And the smell.
He was smoking like strong cigar smell, smoke. And these are non-smoking resorts. You are not allowed to even smoke on your balcony. They have places where you can go on property to smoke, but it is not your room and it is not your balcony. And the smoke was so strong, it filled our room up and actually woke me from a dead sleep. And we called and complained.
Well, the problem was we didn't know exactly where it was coming from.
We didn't know which room it was coming from.
So it was hard to tell, where. So we let them know that, I called and we let them know that, hey, somebody's smoking. And they said, well, not anything we can do unless you can pinpoint where it's coming from. Okay, fine. So we went on with our day.
And later on in the day, it occurred again to where the smoke was so strong. And to me, I'm like, okay, well, you guys, I do not expect people to bend over backwards for us. I do not expect that. But there are a lot of people working the grounds here. And for me, like, if we called to complain that somebody's smoking on their balcony, send a maintenance person through on the little golf cart buggies and see which room is smoking. That's how I would handle it if I was in hotel management. But I'm not. But they got a second call, and we knew at this point which room it was coming from. And nothing was done. And it just was not a good experience the entire trip. It was like one thing after another in a very short period of time. Like, it made the trip horrible.
Well, the last straw was the next day. So the last straw was the next morning when we wanted to come out on the balcony and the sun was coming up and it looked beautiful out. And we came out and we were out here for like a minute. And we literally started getting hit with cigar smoke. And it was our neighbor to our left. Because at that point I could actually see him. I leaned over the balcony and I actually saw him. So this time I actually went downstairs and let the front desk know. And the front desk said, okay, we'll send somebody to go, have a chat with him or whatever. It never occurred. And so
they have specific protocol on how they are to handle things like this. They are to either move us or go and speak to the person and tell them to stop, or they have to leave the property, or to move those people to another room.
Or figure out a way to get everything to work out.
Right. And that was not handled. And so Chris actually contacted the general manager.
So I found out who the manager. So when you check into Disney Resorts, you'll get an email or a text from whoever the manager is of the hotel. And they'll say, well, contact us and let us know if you have any issues with your stay. And it's a generic email. Well, I Googled this person and found her actual direct email address and sent her an email. Now, mind you, I didn't have any issues when I wrote the email. I didn't say, oh, the staff were unfriendly, check in, or oh, my wife got bit by ants or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, that's not something that Disney can control, and I get it. So I'm not going to complain about that kind of stuff.
And we're not the kind of people to complain. We usually just let stuff go.
Exactly. So because at the end of the day, things are opening back up. Disney was going through some layoffs, so I was like, it's no big deal. But so my complaint was really just about the neighbor, and the fact that I did contact them and there wasn't anything that they really were able to do, and I heard back from not the general manager of the hotel, but the front desk manager for the hotel, and he actually called me, and he's like, yeah, they weren't supposed to be smoking. The problem he indicated was when you call, like, from your phone, you call the front desk, you're actually not calling the front desk, you're calling a call center. And that's just because how massive Disney is, right? So he and I chatted for a few minutes, and I let him know, I was like, this was our first time staying there. We wanted it to be a great trip. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and even Jen had said that she wasn't sure she wanted to come back.
I had such a bad time and such a horrible experience here. I didn't want to ever come back to this hotel to even eat at a restaurant here.
So that's what I told him. I said, my wife, this was our first time, my wife doesn't want to come back, so I don't know if we're going to be able to ever come back. And he said, he was sorry. And I said, it's not your guys' fault, I understand, but at the end of the day, he said, let me make it up to you. Let me offer you a free night stay, because that's what we lost out on. And so he offers a free night stay at any of the Disney Deluxe resorts. He said if we chose to come back to this resort, let him know, and he'd take care of us. And so we talked about it, and finally Jen agreed to come back to this resort. So I called the number he gave me, we got a room, and I shot him an email and let him know, hey, we're going to come back, and this is the day we're going to come back. He was like, great, let me know when you're going to arrive and all that kind of stuff. And I did. Matter of fact, on the road yesterday, he emailed me. Was like, hey, do you guys need anything? How's everything going? I let him know when we'd be here. Sure enough, when I got here, he came out and we chatted for a minute and stuff like that. And yesterday was vastly, and you check in and all that stuff was vastly different.
Yeah, this stay makes me want to come back. And so I'm glad that we got the free night stay, because I had a really great experience here. I really enjoyed the pool. I've enjoyed sitting on my balcony and breathing fresh air. Now, this is not us criticizing anybody that smokes. Like, we have parents that smoke.
Yep.
We grew up in a house filled with smoke. But now, like, we don't smoke. Our kids are not exposed to that. We don't want to have to be around it.
Just be considerate for your neighbors.
Yeah, just be considerate for the people around you. Not everybody can tolerate that. And I just had a really, like, peaceful, lovely trip here. We haven't gone to any of the parks yet. We have just stayed at this resort, and it has been such an amazing trip. So I highly recommend the Yacht Club now, but I wouldn't have said that the first trip at all. I've really, really enjoyed this. And so we wanted to tell you that story, but we're going to end this. I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to give you one last view of our view from this current position. By the way, that lighthouse totally lights up at night. It has a spinning light, but it's not like a typical lighthouse where it's really bright. It's like an effect, just so it looks like a lighthouse. There's our view. I, of course, at this point should have inserted some photographs that I took. This view at night is just absolutely stunning because of all of those buildings across the way light up. Although the dance hall just said CE Hall because Dan took a break. His lights are out. Alright guys, we will see you in the next one.